Marcus Aurelius Meditations on Money and Power, 10 Disciplines of the Ghost Millionaire. Most people crave power so they can be seen. They want the title, the corner office, and the digital applause that comes with a high-status life. But Marcus Aurelius, the man who held the ultimate power, viewed these things as nothing more than smoke and dust. He understood that true power isn't about ruling others. It's about ensuring that no one else rules you. Today, we are decoding the disciplines of the ghost millionaire. We are looking at how to build a massive financial engine without letting the world get its hands on your steering wheel. We are moving beyond influence and stepping into sovereignty. Pay close attention to rule number 5, because it explains why your greatest financial asset is actually a psychological one, and rule number 1, which is the only way to stay rich in a world designed to make you poor. If you are ready to master the game of power without being played by it, hit that subscribe button now. Now, let's begin with number 10, the discipline of selective indifference. Money is a preferred indifferent. It is better to have it than not to have it, but it must never be allowed to touch your soul. Marcus Aurelius lived in a palace, but he mentally lived in a monastery. He knew that the moment you need your wealth to feel powerful, you have already lost your power. In 2026, the ghost millionaire treats money like fuel, not like a trophy. You use it to power your mission, but you remain perfectly capable of walking away from it all. When you are indifferent to the glamour of wealth, you can make cold, rational decisions that the emotional crowd simply cannot. If you can't be happy with a crust of bread, you will never be safe with a mountain of gold. True power is the ability to lose everything and remain the same man. But to keep what you have, you must master number 9, the shield of privacy. Power is most effective when it is invisible. Marcus Aurelius was surrounded by people who wanted to use his position for their own gain. His discipline was one of internal confidentiality. He shared his deepest thoughts only with himself. In his journals, in the age of surveillance, privacy is your highest yielding asset. Every time you post a win online, you are handing your enemies a map to your fortress. The ghost millionaire operates in the blind spot of society. You build your capital in the dark, so that when you move, there is no one there to block your path. The world cannot tax what it cannot see. A ghost leaves no footprints. But how do you handle the pressure of the climb? That brings us to number 8, the mastery of the impulse. The biggest threat to your wealth isn't the market. It's your own biology. We are wired to spend, to compete, and to flex our status. This is the impulse that keeps the masses broke and desperate. Marcus practiced the pause. He taught himself to look at an impulse, analyze it, and then discard it if it didn't serve his virtue. When you feel the urge to buy that status symbol or enter that hot trade, stop. Ask yourself, does this increase my sovereignty, or does it just feed my ego? A man who can control his own desires can eventually control the world. The pause is the difference between a king and a slave. Now, we move to number 7, the utility of the empire. Most people want money so they can escape work. The ghost millionaire wants power so they can perfect their work. Marcus didn't rule because he loved the crown. He ruled because it was his duty to bring order to chaos. Wealth is a tool for logos, the underlying logic of the universe. Your 2026 empire should serve a purpose higher than your own comfort. Whether it's building a legacy, protecting your family, or funding a revolution of ideas, your money must have a why. Wealth without purpose is just a high-speed car with no steering wheel. A sovereign man is a man with a mission. But to sustain that mission, you need number 6, the financial view from above. When you are in the market, you are emotional. When you are above the market, you are strategic. Marcus Aurelius practiced zooming out, looking at the entire empire from the stars, realizing that today's crisis is tomorrow's footnote. Apply the view from above to your portfolio. Don't look at the daily fluctuations. Look at the decade-long cycles. In 2026, the noise will be deafening. Your discipline is to remain the still point in the center of the storm. If you are reacting, you are losing. If you are observing, you are winning. Clarity is the ultimate competitive advantage. Now, for the breakthrough. Number 5, the sovereign mindset, the asset of non-need. The most powerful person in any negotiation is the one who needs nothing from the other side. This is the asset of non-need. Marcus Aurelius was the master of the world because he was the master of himself. He didn't need the Senate's approval. He didn't need the people's love. He only needed his own integrity. The ghost millionaire builds a life where they don't need any specific outcome to survive. This detachment makes you dangerous. It allows you to take risks that others won't, and to wait for opportunities that others miss. You attract wealth the moment you prove you don't need it to be whole. The less you need, the more you rule. This leads to number 4, the guarding of the gates. Every person you let into your life is a trade. You are trading a piece of your peace for a piece of their energy. Marcus was extremely selective about his inner court. He knew that one toxic advisor could poison an entire empire. Your disciplines must include relational sovereignty. Cut the leeches, the doubters, and the loudmouths. The ghost millionaire moves with a circle of iron. A few trusted allies who understand the value of silence and the necessity of growth. Your network is either a wind at your back or a weight on your ankles. Choose your court with the eyes of an emperor. This brings us to number 3, the discipline of volition. Volition is your power to choose your own path, regardless of external circumstances. Marcus believed that while we cannot control what happens to us, we have absolute power over how we interpret it. In 2026, the world will try to force you into bins, into political groups, consumer classes, and digital identities. The ghost millionaire rejects all labels. You are a sovereign of one. You move through the system, but you are not of the system. The only true power is the power to say no to the world's demands. Freedom is found in the internal no. Now, number 2, the memento mori audit. Wealth and power can make you feel immortal, and that is when you become weak. Marcus reminded himself every day, you could leave life right now. This wasn't a dark thought. It was a clarifying one. It stripped away the vanity of his power and left only the essential. Audit your wealth through the lens of death. What part of your empire actually matters? If you were to die tonight, would you be proud of how you used your power? Or would you just be a man who died with a lot of stuff? A king who forgets his mortality becomes a tyrant. A ghost who remembers it becomes a legend. Live as if your time is short, because it is. And finally, the ultimate discipline. Number 1, the empire within. The ghost millionaire realizes that the external empire, the bank accounts, the real estate, the influence is only a shadow. The real empire is the one inside your own skull. Marcus Aurelius' meditations were his way of governing that internal territory. If you are a king on the inside, you will eventually become a king on the outside. But if you are a beggar on the inside, no amount of money will ever make you rich. The number 1 discipline is to wake up every day and rule yourself. Conquer your fear, conquer your laziness, and conquer your ego. The man who rules himself has already conquered the world. Money and power are the ghost's tools, but character is the ghost's core. 2026 is a year for the sovereign. It's a year to build in silence, to move with intent, and to rule without a crown. The challenge: pick one power move you've been wanting to make. A business deal, a hard conversation, or a major investment. Do it today, but tell no one. Let the power of that action stay entirely within your own circle. If you're ready to build an empire that the world can't touch, subscribe to Ghost Millionaire 2026. Comment the word discipline below if you've decided to rule your internal empire today. Remember, the world sees the noise, but the ghost rules the silence. Stay stoic, stay silent, build your empire. I'll see you in the next one.